Yo, greetings, kings and queens. Yeah, greetings. Impromptu situation. We just all our vibes right here now, still, you know. For those who may be unaware, yeah. In fact, let me share the actual video with Huno. I just went live on Titans TV. Yeah. Coming out of the debate that I posted about, was it last week now? Yeah. And did the presentation on Brother Callum from Titans TV, summoned me to the platform to re-deliver the
The
presentation
philosophy.
albeit in a shortened format. Yeah. What I mean? For the people them. And it was an honor, you know what I'm saying? Titans TV is a significant platform, you know what I'm saying, Otiasa. So it was an honor to join the brethren and the people them, within the context of that conversation. You can see the link Yasa, yeah, sorry, the video Yasa, and you can find the link for this in the chat. Yeah, you can find the link for this in the chat. And I was just preying it back. I don't normally watch back my things them right after I do them still, but I thought, you know what, let me see how the thing did go down. You know what I mean? And so whilst I was presenting, I wasn't able to see the chat, and it was interesting to pre the chat. Whilst I was presenting still, because no vexation, yeah, did the place, yeah. Now the interesting part of about the vexation for me, right, is that obviously the subject is are the Abrahamic religions African? Yeah, and he's labeled the show, as you can see here, Abrahamic religions not African. I wish I could show you the thumbnail. Let me show you the actual thumbnail. That's what I was hoping to get up. Um, Hold on there. I should be able to do it this way. Yeah, so you can see the thumbnail. Yeah, so at this way I look upon. Yeah, at this way you should be able to see that, right? Yeah, so this is the show that we just did with Titans. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Big up Cold Bob. I think he was in the place. Yeah, so for the thing, right, for the presentation. But it was interesting pre in the chat. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Watching it back at them thing there, because plenty vexation. Yeah, the chat. Particularly from the Hebrew brothers, it was mad, right? But so as you can see, I'm laughing because I spent the majority, yeah, of the presentation actually talking about African spirituality. Yeah, African spirituality, African spiritual systems, indigenous African cosmology. And so I'm assessing, yeah, the idea is to assess the Abrahamic religions and their Africanness within the context of indigenous African spiritual systems. Um, and I don't know, like the vexation is mad. Like when you begin to talk about African spirituality, yeah, I find it very interesting how people respond. And people that know nothing, yeah, about African spiritual systems, them can't tell you A from B, you know what I'm saying? Black from Bluefoot, them can't tell you nothing, yeah, when it comes to African spiritual systems, but have so much to say, well, actually, very little to say, but you know, casting aspersions on the information that was presented without a substantive challenge, even though, yeah, I don't mind that, but you see, when you know, on the mouth, yeah, there for talk, and then when them give the mic, you know, have nothing for say, yeah. Yeah, man, me disappointed when me see them something there still. Me can't lie. You know what I mean? Me disappointed because me didn't want hear all of our people there with it that, have nothing to say in the chat. Yeah, for come. Yeah. Even from the chat and ask some question or put some argument to I. You know what I mean? The one Reggie will come live with I is brother Reggie. Yeah, the well known brother Reggie. Him come live and him challenge I still, on the levels. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate of them things. We don't mind them something there. But it was interesting to me that the whole of our people them when you run up them mouth in the chat for the whole presentation. When the Q&A, the discussion started, them seem to disappear. We never see them again. Me I want this one go on. Me I want this one. Alakazam abracadabra business go on and then just disappear. I turn invisible. Yeah. You know what I mean? Me I want this one go on. So I'm laughing because it's not even a thing. Like, watch the debate on Triluminati Live. Yeah. Watch my presentation on this channel right here. Yeah. Watch the presentation that I just delivered on Titans TV. All right. The link is in the description to this video. And when I stay along today, when I stay along today, what with us, I share a reasoning from what we see in the chat. Yeah. These people give me joke. In the debate, it was the first. It was when we play the Shango music, and people them say me I what witchcraft upon them, and I cast spell upon them, and I kind of foolishness. And this one is just the level of uncritical critique is interesting. So when you're given the opportunity now for critical critique, you can come and challenge me. Like, people were being called upon to fact check me, yeah, to fact check me about the things that were me say, yeah, and they never came. I don't. I'm open to being fact checked if anything that I've said is incorrect, but I'm not sure when it comes to African spiritual systems. You have to know about African spiritual system for correct chakra. I'm sorry, that's just what it is. Yeah, that's just what it is. All right. So and for me, big up the chat by the way, Cold Barber, Tanky, big up Rowan, big up Planter Jason, big up the pro black perspective is in the building. Yeah. What's it called? Big up yourself, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. And I'll be honest, even in relation to this, yeah, all right, I hear what you're saying still. But for me, man don't care about the winning, Like, man engaged in the conversation to expand upon the that particular topic from the perspective of indigenous African spiritual systems. Yeah. Winning was secondary to man. And that's why I engage in these conversations. This is about, restoring dignity and functionality to African spiritual systems. That's what it's about. But as I was saying, watch all of the conversations, right? And I'm not harsh, yeah, on the Abrahamic religions at all. Yeah. I don't throw slander and word and ad hominems and all them something them. You know, engage in them something there in all of them conversation with me I talk about right now. Yeah. The only thing I've said is them not African. Yeah. That is my only assertion. Yeah. Is that these religions are not African. That's the only thing I've said. Right? I've not used any disparaging terminology, even when disparaging terminology has been used, yeah, in relation to African spiritual systems that I am defending. I have not returned the favor. All right. And all kinds of things go on in these chats, yeah, and from the comment section and all these things. I mean, never return the favor. But people get vexed, yeah. And so I'm realizing the power of this thing called Kimoyo, African spirituality, and indigenous African culture and its power. Like, people really get uncomfortable to the point of vexation when you teach about African culture and especially African culture within the context of African spiritual systems. A word that was used to describe some of the things that I was sharing on Titans TV is garbage. Yeah, I'm sharing concepts like Ma'at, yeah, and Ukobo from the Zulu, Ma'at from the ancient Kemetu, Kalunga and Nzambi from the Kikongo, yeah, in Central Africa. I didn't go into it, but I touched on Itongo. I didn't delve into it, but I touched on Ashe from the Yoruba. I brought Kikuyu cosmology to the table. Yeah, so the whole all of Africans on the continent in various different regions, yeah, like what I say, all the regions, yeah, I touched on. All right, east, west, north, and south. The only thing I didn't really go into in depth, which I mentioned but didn't go into in depth, is African spiritual traditions in the Americas. Yeah, didn't go into it in that much depth. And people are using words like pseudo to describe an explanation of the cosmology of African spiritual systems. And there is no foundation from which to tell me that Ma'at is not, when we say it is, yeah, in the present, or what more properly, what Baba Teofala Benga said it is. You know, no basis for tell me, say Kalunga and Nzambi don't represent, yeah, what Kimbwan Dende Kiabun Sekifuki Yao, who's an initiate into three of the initiatory systems of his people, yeah, in the Congo, yeah, to tell me that what he says it is not what it is. Yeah, because that's the only way it can be pseudo. If the information when we are bring, yeah, cannot be substantiated, is false according to the tradition, according to the spiritual system. From what basis? You gotta tell me say it's pseudo. And that me want to know. But when the link was sent out for the people them to come and tell me where the pseudoism there, them never come. Yeah. So why I thought to just comment on this very quickly, yeah, is because I realize the power of the thing where we are dealing with, yeah, when we say African spirituality. And we begin to talk about it and we begin to challenge just by delving into the depth of the thing. Yeah. Just by speaking on the traditions and their spiritual systems from the perspective of the spiritual system and not from an alien perspective or a disparaging perspective. Just by doing that, it rub off the people them the wrong way. Them get digi. Yeah, them get funny. Yeah, them get beside themselves. Them can't contain the ill feelings where them have to the thing. Yeah, to the point whereby they can't even say anything substantial. They might just have a throw word. Even when you're engaged in a respectful conversation. And I just want to say, African people, there is no liberation without a proper understanding and a political application of African culture. Yeah? It naga go on. I just say it go. Yeah? And one of the ways in which you're going to restore that functionality is by teaching about African spiritual systems. People have not been given the opportunity, yeah, to understand African spiritual systems on their own merit. And that's what I do. Yeah. That's what I do. Yeah. I teach and share information and study African spiritual systems on their own merit and apply them to all areas of people activity. Yeah. Right? So whether it's politics, whether it's law, whether it's education, yeah, whether it's economics, whether it's labor, whether it's sex, war, counter war, whatever it is, yeah, we apply the principles and the philosophy, the ontology, the cosmology, the axiology that we derive from our indigenous culture and their evolutions in today's world. Yeah. Apply them. Yeah. And seek to functionalize them in the development of and the evolution of ourselves as a people and develop new things that our culture don't remain stagnant, you know what I'm saying? So I just say it go. Yeah, I just say it go. And so I want to give a strength to everybody, yeah, that is affirming African spirituality, Kimoyo, yeah, that is affirming a nature-based way of life, a way of life that is in seeks to be in harmony with the universe, yeah, and the laws of nature, a way of life that gives credence to the wisdom, magnificence of our ancient African ancestors and even our more recent African ancestors, and love to all the brothers and sisters of the Abrahamic religions whose soul did a burn. Yeah, your mind upon fire When a man say Ukobo and Kalunga and Ma'at and Oludumare and Nzambi, and you can't deal with everything there. Yeah. And pluck up the courage. Yeah. Next time to share your aversion in a productive manner. Yeah. Click that link and come live. You know, see it. And share your understanding of indigenous African spiritual systems. Tell me when me wrong, when me not get it right. I know when me pseudo is pseudo, and when me garbage for take out, and all them something there. Yeah, I'll be most willing to have that conversation with Ono. Yeah, you know what I mean. Tell me how we never carry the Ifa and the Vudan and the Mayal and the Kumina go to the Caribbean. Tell me how them something they never go on. Them thing they don't exist. We're not on Yankopong in Jamaica, for example. We're not in Zambia. Yeah, make me know them something there. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'll be most willing to engage with the whole of Ono. So yeah, as I said, family, this is a quick one still. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hosting a long conversation. But if you do want to hear a long conversation, let me know in the chat or in the comment section. And I'll come live at some point between this week and next week, and we'll have a full conversation about African spiritual systems and whether Abrahamic religions are African or not, or whether the work of Teofilo Benga and Kim Wandende, Kiabon Seki Fukiao and Mama Marimba Ani and all these things is pseudo or not. All right, tenda mwale mukolo kolo. Kozai muzeo mukolo, mojuba oludumare, mojuba orisha, mojuba egungun. Nyankopon asaseya nananum, shiraye. Abibi fahodie, ashe, 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 ashe.